Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, I hope you are all doing great. And today we are going to discuss Gettysburg Address, which was addressed by Abraham Lincoln. But first of all, we will talk about Abraham Lincoln, that who was he? He was an American lawyer and statesman who served as the 16th President of the United States from 1861 until his assassination in 1865. Now let's talk about Gettysburg Address. First, we will discuss what is Gettysburg, because in order to understand the Gettysburg Address, we need to know what is the meaning of that word or a term. Gettysburg is actually a small town in Pennsylvania, and Lincoln was in Washington, so he traveled from Washington D.C. to Pennsylvania to the small town named Gettysburg. That's why this address was named as Gettysburg Address, and it was addressed in November 19, 1863. Let's talk about the first paragraph of this address, in which he says that 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation. Now, fourscore means 4 means 4 and score means 20. Now, if we multiply 4 to 20, it becomes 80, which means that for 80 years. And now he says that 7 years ago. If we add 7 years in 80, it becomes 87. So he is referring to the Declaration of Independence, like when America was a free nation, independence. He is referring to the Independence Day or Independence Year. 1776 is the Independence Year of America. He is referring to this year. If we minus 87 years from 1863, 1863 is the year of this address, and 1776 is the Independence Year. When we minus 1863 to 87, it becomes 1776. So he's referring to 1776, the Independence Year of America. Now he is saying that we conceived a nation in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now if we talk about the Declaration of Independence, here the first declaration is that all men are created equal. He is referring to this declaration. This line is written in the third paragraph, where Lincoln speaks that it is for us the living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. He is referring to the people who sacrificed their life in a civil war. Now it must be clear that he was invited here to motivate the nation, and to the people whose loved ones were sacrificed and martyred in a civil war. He's saying that it is for us the living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work. He is motivating to those people that we should finish that work which was started by those people who are now martyred. We should now finish this unfinished work which they fought here thus far so nobly advanced. It is a noble work, and we should proceed this work to complete it. Now, if we talk about the important thing which he talked in this address, is the lesson for equality. He talks about the lesson of equality in first paragraph. In a second paragraph, he motivates his nation to remember the sacrifices which were done by the people in a civil war. He says that now we are engaged in a civil war because there was a time of civil war, test and trial, period of trial for those people living in America. And he says that we are all gathered here to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place, because there were cemetery at Gettysburg where soldiers of that battle were buried. So he says that we should dedicate a portion of that field. There was a portion of that field where all of those people were buried. And in a third paragraph, he is showing disappointment because the present nation is not doing the same thing which the soldiers did before. He says that we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, and we cannot hallow this ground because the land is full of bloodshed, land is full of the atrocities which were done by the people. And he's saying that we cannot hallow this land now. The brave men living and dead who struggle here have consecrated it. लेकिन जो भी यहाँ पर जिन लोगों ने अपनी ज़िंदगी दी है इस लैंड के लिए, उन्होंने तो अपना जो काम करना था वो कर दिया है. दे हैव डिवोटेड देयर लाइव्स फॉर दिस लैंड, बट it is now our duty to remember the incident, because we should not forget our history. He says that don't forget the sacrifices and bring back the union. If we have union, we can win the things which were taken back from us. He is now motivating the nation in last line of the third paragraph by saying that these dead shall not have died in vain. क्योंकि उन्होंने जो अपनी लाइफ दी है वो बिल्कुल बेकार नहीं की, because we should remember their sacrifices. And he is telling us the lesson that the lesson of democracy. Like he was telling his nation about the democracy, which is government of the people, by the people, for the people. And the land shall not perish from the earth. This shall not perish from the earth. Democracy shall prevail and it shall not perish from the earth. This was the end of this address. He only spoke for 2 minutes, which was very precise, and he motivated his nation to the fullest. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.